The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. Okay, this is going to be chapter 30 or 47. And what I did here in 48, I guess I did 45 and 46 because 45 was such a small one. I continued from here. This ended up being 2 pieces last time, so I might be able to use them someplace else in the text, although I have to correct who the king is at this time in the 4th year, because if it's talking about this dictation from Jeremiah, it's at a different king's time, but I want to put the text together, then I'll correct that. In 46, it became interesting because it started talking about Assyria, and at the time it was that they were defeated by Babylon. So that means that this cannot be from Jeremiah's time. And I'll show you his timeline in a second. Here, when it's talking about this, what's going to happen, and this is probably because we have no introduction whether this is a prophecy or him just writing things down as a recap. So the thing here is I've got to look for more text, but this is all talking about Israel's time. So this time, the nation Israel, by the way. So that has to take place because I know that the other king here, let me put up the timeline here. Jeremiah is supposed to first appear in the 10th year of Josiah, and then he's going to remain on the land. But here, oh, wait, I was going to say, at this time, this king didn't have enough people to fight when Assyria come over and knocked on the door of Jerusalem and said, give yourself up. Our Creator sent that commander to hear a rumor, and the rumor, I have to say, would be that Babylon is attacking Assyria and took them away. So I don't really see these guys having a strong army to be able to say what's going to happen at the end here, because when Babylon came down, there were so many that they just brought themselves into the fortified cities. Their warriors and their captains and everything stayed inside the city and was hoping to outlast the besieging by Babylon, and it didn't work. So I know that they didn't really have a battle. So the thing here is the text has to be talking about at the time Israel and before. So it has to be, now Isaiah was a prophet at this time for this king, but there would have been other prophets pretty much before then as well, because you can see that this king is the one that loses most of the territory. And then they come back after 5 years. Well, after 5 years, they finally decided to have their own king of the people that were left there. But they had assembled into these areas here that they did not conquer, but they came back and then took them again, and they started knocking on this door. So that has to be a prophet from before this time. So, it has to be before this time that they're coming. So that's pretty much what I found in 46. Or no, this would be 46. So I'm going to start 47. There's not much here to do, but the next one is like 30 verses, and I can't do 30 verses. Usually takes three hours. So this one's going to be short. And for those that are new here, I'm finding above my head here how I find these two different formats that the first writers wrote, and you'll see them appear as I'm editing the text. I don't force them into one another until I've got a story going, and then I can say, okay, because I've got this much of a story, and since I know the stories, I will start explaining why it either has to be a 3-verse or a 4-verse, or arrange the verses so they make a 3-verse or 4-verse, because the text will be reading out of sync from the format that you see. And I've been finding more or less 3-verse formats, by the way. Now, I started a little bit as the video is playing, so because these are simple to start with, so especially these words. And the words from YV through, and I don't use the full word through because I want to use that word as a major word in my finding of the format. When what I'm saying by that is that, as you can see here, I've got one major word and one major word, and I'm connecting it with the least amount of words as I can, smaller words. Then I've got one here and one here. So if I use this as it, I'd have three. So I'm trying to find these two verses. See how this has got this one here and this one here? When you cut up the verses, you'll actually do these yourself, and you'll find that the subject is changing. So when you see or read the text and it becomes another little subject, you have to keep breaking to find these, like what I did right here to break this down. As you can see, I just went through and I randomly did that just to get a good quick start. So Jeremiah, his prophet concerning Palestine. Now, these guys have been long gone for a couple hundred years, since David's time. So there's probably, let's see, bring that king's timeline up. So we're looking at 100 years here, 100 years, 200, 300, all the way back to David's time. So we're talking almost 500 years that there has been no Philistines on the promised land. At David's time, he sent them below the river known as the river for or Egyptian river, or the river for Egypt. I think it's even named that to this day. So if I can pull up my maps and pull this up, this is where David pushed them to, either below here or whatever, right in this area. But the object is they were not able to challenge anymore. So this would have been a very small amount of people. Now, this river right here, being named in the name of River of Egypt, meant that that was the borderline way back then for the Egyptian territory. So even though it was known as the Sinai, it was Egypt's territory. So, with that said, I can get rid of that one and I can bring this down. And now we have, this is not being truthful. Pharaoh never did conquer Gaza. They didn't come back up, as you just seen that map here from David's time forward. All these kingdoms here were paying tribute. All of them around here were paying tribute to the kings for Israel and Judah. So, but just trying to put the story in mind here, why I can't use these words. So Gaza is a city. So concerning something here, okay? So I'll put a blank line in to say I don't know right now. I use this thus becomes this was said by YV, behold, okay, the waters are going to rise from the north, and rising from the north, I could use that, but as any of this, I couldn't use. And become overflowing. Well, this might be simple because this is not making any sense. Our Creator does not speak like that. He is going to tell you the truth of who's coming. They're coming to battle you, not overflow your land. And the land will wail. See, this is just stupid talk. So you can tell that when you get really oversalted words, you just know that that's just wrong. They're adding their text for their female goddess here, or the goddess, or the god Ra and his daughter, the moon goddess. Because of the noise and the galloping and tumult of chariots. Now, chariots they didn't use in Israel. Israel is a hill country. Chariots, you need open, flat land like Egypt. So chariots wouldn't be running around. Now, the kings did use chariots, but that was to ride on the made roads. They weren't used as in battle unless they went out in a flat area and were battling. Limpness of their hands. Nope. No, our creator wouldn't be talking about this. This is land in Lebanon. He never talks about what's going to happen there. And they got Palestine now up in Lebanon, and they never even got that far. Wow, this might be I thought this was going to last at least an hour, but this might be a quick, I don't need any of this. I'm not seeing any of this either. Baldness has come upon Gaza, Ashkelon, ruined. No, this is. Oh, yeah, I remember doing this, and I don't know what I erased here. So you're going to have to look it up. I don't have the text open up here to do this one. I have a concordance that I can, on another computer, that I can show you when I need to, but I'm not going to open it just to find that word. I thought there was going to be something more than here, because I cut this a couple days ago. Yeah, this is just not any good. I can't even find text to go with that, so, okay. That was so quick that just means that there's been only 16 minutes, 17 minutes, and I know there's a 4-minute beginning. So I guess I'll just continue, and this might end up now being a 3.5-hour video. Because I didn't think it was just like Moab. They've been gone for over 500 years. Okay, no, even longer than that. They've been gone for probably 1,000 years. So the only time Moab exists is when they're going into when Moses was still leading them to the promised land on the east side of the Jordan River. So this has nothing to do at this time. Maybe I've got more text from the promised land time, which would really be far back in the text. This would have to go 700 years back. But I'm not going to do that unless I can really get a story. There is praise for Moab, but no. They were, let's put it this way. Why did our Creator tell them to kill all the men, women, children, babies, and animals? And that's because they were having sex with each other in what we call today is incest, and even with animals. That is what people don't understand what's going on and why our Creator told them to kill them off. He doesn't want those people. He hates those people. He told them to kill even their children. And remember, they ain't dead, okay? Their soul is still living. So only the body dies, the soul lives on. So they still had a chance to change all these times while they're in the abyss until Jesus' second coming to start to obey our Creator. So if you're here and you say, okay, I don't believe what that guy just said, and then you die and you find out you're out there in the abyss and not with anybody else, and you find out they're all bad guys, you better start paying attention, because that's what it's going to be forever, according to our Creator right now. He might change his mind in a couple trillion years, but you're going to be separated from our Creator and live among them. So if you start being obedient to our Creator as much as you can, you still have that hope that you will still be redeemed, because the whole purpose of life is, will you accept by your own free will that we have a Creator of everything and you're going to live forever? Once you understand that is true, I know you have a belief or have a faith or whatever. Me, I know our Creator, I've seen him, or he made me see him 8 times, so I don't have a belief. But the sound of the cry of this guy, this great destruction. Wow, this is really, Moab is broken. That's just, like I said, too low. This is a city. This is another city. We don't know where these cities are. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. No story of beginning or to say there's story here. Plateau, that's what we call as a mount, and these mounts are here, and then there's these two here, and then like here. Now these are so high up that Moses was told to stand here and he could look down on the hill country of Israel. So there's no mountains in Israel, because Moses looked down on the land and seen that it was a very hilly country. Okay, so these are going to disappear. We still have them today. So plateau will be destroyed. No. And here, because that's the location of Moab, or was at the time Moses was led them into battle. Now this makes a 3 verse, but it doesn't have enough text to go with it. Still talking about Moab. Nor has he gone into exile. They were told to kill them off completely. And I just explained that. Therefore, behold, the days are coming when I'll send him, and those tip the vessel and tip him over, empty vessel, empties jar. This is maybe in before I die, maybe I will explain a lot of how they are talking about this, how to meditate and have sex with a so-called female goddess. Because actually I've got a video I have already made, but I haven't, I released it once and then I pulled it down. I thought it was getting too dangerous, that people shouldn't be practicing, but I tell you how to do this. And then once you do this, all these words will become very clear to you. But I don't want you to do this. So this is, Moab's been gone. What the heck's going on here? Wow, this is, I didn't think I was going to, I thought I was going to find more than this. Your mighty scepter, your maleness is of your mighty scepter has been broken, the staff of splendor. means you have stopped jacking off. Come down from your glory. Glory is used as the image of the female in your head when you're masturbating. That's what all this text is talking about. And your dick is Moab. I mean, look, you don't know it, but the book, what was it called, Moby Dick, that's exactly what they're talking about. The white whale is talking about virgin sex and how he conquers knowing how not to masturbate, and then learn how to meditate to have sex with the female goddess, and then you remain single. So all your monks, priests, nuns, Buddhists, that's what they're doing, okay? Because you can't share your love after you start that practice. Once you start that practice, you don't go away from it, supposedly, because what they believe is you become a god. And that's all gone. That's all wrong. So this is just... They're really talking about your Moby. Has been put to shame. It has been shattered. Wail and cry out. The Moab has been destroyed. Yeah, this is. I didn't think this was. I thought there was going to be text here that I was going to save. This is the first book, their first chapter, that I can say that from beginning to end, I'm thinking there's nothing here. Oh, these words are words that they're adding in 1977 NSAB. That's the text that I'm using right now. Because I have that concordance. You've seen that in the intro. Yeah, I'm looking for anything that I can say of any year of any of the story here that it could be used, and I could change the word Moab and get to it more, but I don't see that happening here. Well, I guess I didn't cut all this yet. So I forgot. I guess I got carried away here. Well, that's because today I got through more than I thought I was going to get. That's what's going on. They don't gash themselves. Broken Moab, like an undesired vessel. And you should have figured that out by now, what that meant. I'll kind of give you enough hints in this video about what's going on there. Yeah, this is... I thought there was only 30 verses in this one. Climb up out of the pit and be cut. No. Okay, that was quicker than I thought. That only took maybe another 10 minutes to explain that isn't any good. Okay, so that was the first one that I can actually say that the whole chapter is completely useless. I'm pretty sure. I guess I can't remember all the 49 of these that I've done now. 48. And this, I guess I got to throw this out too, because this is, why save this? There's nothing here to save. So I guess 2 chapters completely out. And then then you see how much I threw out of the one before. That I've done a lot of these that I know that pretty much every book I'm throwing out 40%. Some books I'm only saving 40%. But this is, I'm shocked that this has happened here in Jeremiah, because Jeremiah is telling us so much about, is the only book that tells us the prophecies at that time for the last few kings, and then what happens with the people left as the remnant on the land. So, okay, I guess I got to get to work on this, but that's going to be the end of this one. Sorry about that. Well, that's got to be recorded for history anyway, so that'll be the end of this video, and I got to start working on this now.